Hi and welcome to this yin flow. So I've been quite stressed, not just in my own life, but with a whole lot of just everything. So I guess it is in my life. But what I wanted to do is a de-stress flow, one where we can just allow ourselves to be. There's no expectation of anything, there's no walls unless you want to use them. So again, let's just get comfortable. I've got my notes with me because I did make notes for this one and I wanted to say some things and I just didn't want to forget them. So that's why I've got my trusty notes here. So we're going to start this yin in a seated butterfly. And as always, when it comes to yin, we're working with the tendons, the bones, the fascia. We're going a little deeper. It's about relaxing into the pose, allowing gravity to do its thing. And props are always really useful to use because depending on how you're feeling and what you want in that moment, you can either add some comfort or some support, or a pose sometimes when it comes to holding them can change in a sensation. So I always, in my head, want to be practicing at a scale of 4 or 5. So 10 being something really dangerous, I'm going to hurt myself, and 1 being I'm not feeling anything. You want to feel something, but you don't want to feel a pain or a tear or a rip. You want to be in an uncomfortable situation where it feels bearable, that you're not going to hurt yourself. It's going to be doing something good for you, okay? And that's what I want you to think about all the way through. So whatever I offer you today, if that's not feeling good, change it. Do a variation of it. I'm always going to try and give you those variations. So let's bring ourselves to a seated butterfly. Now with this butterfly, you can, of course, sit up on your bolster. You can lean against the wall. You can bring your bricks underneath your feet. You can bring yourself under there. You don't have to do any of those. What some people like to do is grab their bolster and actually place it here. And some people use their bricks as well. And I'm going to bring a brick here. And I want you to comfortably settle in towards this pose. And allow yourself this moment to close down your eyes. And if you're already in this pose thinking, I'm not feeling good, I want you to change it quickly. So either support yourself with some bricks underneath you, give yourself that anterior tilt. If the seated version isn't feeling good, change it to the lying down version or even the legs up the wall, okay? Now with this pose, what I want you to feel is yourself just letting go. Let go of any engagement that you may have in your body. So any holdings, any sensations here. Soften. So with one thing I learned when my yin training is that yin is everything hidden. It's the quiet, it's the still, it's the underneath that we want to target. Allow your breath to flow in and out. Yourself to feel ease and comfort. And if a prop is no longer being useful, maybe change that. slowly start to come out of your position. Take it very easy. Move your props aside. Stretch out your legs and just give yourself a little ease, little roll. Could have a little windscreen wipe. So we target things or lines, meridians. You also want to encourage the movement of chi or prana in Hatha yoga. Okay, let's get ready for our next part. So all I want you to do is simply make our way into a child's pose. Now, child's pose isn't comfortable for everybody. So you could sit back onto your heels, take your knees a little wider, and you can place your forehead onto your hands. You can use your bricks here, or you can even use your bolster. And some like to prop this up. Now, I don't want you to twist your head yet, but if that's not feeling good and you want to twist your head, please do that. But what we are going to do is we are going to do a twist in a way in a moment to get into our body. So I want you to settle in, and I'm going to bring myself down because I'm actually going to use my hands to support me here. And the idea is to get that stretch into your feet. You allow your hips to open and allow yourself just a moment to close down. Shut everything out. Just allow yourself to concentrate on your breathing. And as always, within your yin, if your hair is not comfortable, change it. I've just done that for myself, loosened my hairband. But you want to find some stillness, not some distraction. And I find that incredibly hard sometimes because I'm so used to doing something, being on the move, fixing something, replying, or just doing a lot, I guess. So sometimes just doing nothing is the hardest thing, and it's hard. And I want you to know I resonate with that. Slowly come on up. You can keep your bolster where it is, but give yourself a little wiggle, a little move. Let's have a little cat-cow. So arching the back and rounding it in. So just doing a few of these. And again. Good. And just bringing ourselves back. I'm just going to move our microphone so I'm not in the way. So we're going to do a twist. So from your child's pose, you're just going to take our hip to your bolster, and you can put the bolster up a little bit more with your bricks, and you can come down. We did do this in one of our war-yins. You want to square your shoulders, and your head can go in the opposite direction, or you can go in the same direction, whatever feels most comfortable to you. So bringing yourself down and either resting here or turn your head and take a moment there. Your legs can either be as they are now, or you can have a little bit more space. But the idea of having that rotation at the top of our body is exactly what we're going for. Allow yourself to sink into that bolster, into the position, allowing yourself to feel heavy. Allow your stress and any tension to leave. Slowly bring yourself up and take your legs over to the other side and come into the second side. Softening in. Maybe even closing down the eyes. Allowing your breath to be easy. Soften the face, the neck, the jaw. Lovely. Couple more breaths here. Beautiful. Slowly allow yourself to come on up. And I invite you to either sit back onto the heels like I am and have a little wiggle, roll it out, or you could come into a tabletop and shake the tail and shake the legs. Again, just some sort of yang movement to allow yourself to be. Okay, so moving on to our next one is going to be a puppy or anahatasana, our melting heart. And I am going to use my bolster. You can use your bricks instead. You can just use the mat or a cushion or anything. I'm going to just move the mic one more time so I'm not getting any rustling as much when I come on down. I'm going to bring my forearms onto my bolster or my cushion and bring my palms together. I'm going to take my hips over my knees, and you can tuck the toes for that lovely use of chi to open up the feet as well. And you could rest your forehead here. Now this is great. You can take the hands over your head. You can take your head all the way down to the mat. Keep the arms outstretched, or take them again over your head. You can either just bring them onto your shoulder blades. You could be in a prayer position. Those toes, of course, can be tucked or untucked. Sinking the heart down is where I'm going for. But you've got to find your happy medium in here. And one thing that some people forget is you can take your bolster and your bricks, and the bolster can catch your chest, and the bricks can support you here, and you could be exactly here. Could be a little higher, and again, settling yourself in. But what I want you to be very careful of is any shoulder pain, rips, rotator cuff injuries. Be careful, so you could maybe just lessen the arms. But whatever you've chosen, allow yourself just to settle into that pose. And I'm going to bring myself down into a lesser variation, just because I have shoulder, neck tension. So I'm going to just lessen it for myself and then maybe work a little more into it as my body has time to settle. Good. Slowly bring yourself out of it and give yourself just that little bit of movement. Lovely. And then we're going to come actually to sit onto our shins. Now, you can slide that bolster underneath you, especially if you've got any knee issues, any feet issues. Turning the palms up, closing down your eyes and just taking a moment to sit tall. Now, if your knees are not good, sit up on something more, or you can either do one at a time as well. This is always really useful. But again, it's more about just taking the time to breathe, to sit, and take in what is and how you're feeling at that moment. Allow the breath to fill the lungs and allow the breath to leave, preparing for that next inhalation. Great time to check in with how you're feeling in the body, what sounds are surrounding you, and how you're feeling mentally. Now, we're not going to do an awful lot of poses today. My idea of this one was just poses that I use when I'm feeling stressed, a little tense, and I almost need a boost or a yoga hug, I think is the word. Slowly coming out of it and just giving your toes just a little ease. Good. So we're going to actually come on down into a Shavasana and you're going to support your knees. And you're going to roll yourself all the way down. Supporting those knees to bring comfort to your lower back and maybe placing hands on the heart and hands on the belly. Close down your eyes and again reconnect to your breath. My intention for your practice today was to bring a sense of ease, a sense of calm, a sense of relaxation. Not about the physical asana or the poses that we've done. It was purely a restful, take time out for yourself in poses that do feel, for me personally, like that hug or a little space of security or times where I know that I just need a little reset. So if you need more from your yin practice, you can always go and find our wall yin. But in our YouTube channel, I have a few yins, not just from myself, but from a lovely Hannah, and I know Rachel's got some as well. But then simply rest. Now I invite you to either just turn me off and that's it, don't do any more, or have a full little body stretch, a little yawn, roll to a side, and then of course bring yourself up. And when you come to your seat, you can sit as you are, it does not matter. But I want you just to bring the thumb and the pinky finger together, then the fourth finger, then the third, and then your index finger. So I teach my children this, it's part of Kundalini Yoga, but it's great for gross motor skills. And the word is, well, the mantra is Sa Ta Na Ma. Sa Ta Na Ma. And I'm gonna chant Sa Ta Na Ma a little louder, and then I'm gonna go a little softer, and then I'm gonna say nothing at all. I'll put some reasons why in the description for you, but it's something I do when I'm stuck in traffic or I'm feeling quite tense. It gives me a reason for just to allow myself to be in the present moment, reconnect with myself, vibrations. But yeah, let's give it a go. By the way, my singing's not amazing. So you can do, starting with your index finger, then move to your pinky, or you can go the other way. But I'm going to go index finger, middle, fourth, fifth. Okay? Sa Ta Na Ma, 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 Sa Ta Na Ma. Stay still, allow your fingers to not move. Blink open the eyes, draw your hands together, take a moment to thank yourself, and I thank you for trying something new or just trying something different. And if it wasn't for you, that's perfectly fine. You just find another type of yin or another style that feels good for you. Namaste.